Good morning, everybody. Let me just welcome everybody to Physics 2A. I'm going to be recording this lecture so you can watch it later, and you can view it on the Canvas. I'm debating on whether I'm going to start putting things onto YouTube because they're starting to delete old stuff, but for now it'll just be on Canvas because then I'll have to, if I put it on YouTube, I have to, rather than auto caption, I have to caption it and edit things. So, but yeah. Welcome, everybody, to Physics 2A. Whether you're going to go on to the 1 series or just take 2B and then continue on your career that way, hopefully you can, learn some stuff about physics and carry that with you wherever you go. All right, let's start with the syllabus. So, hopefully you can all see it on Canvas right now. Everyone can log, that's not on the wait list. If you're on the wait list, I'll add you and then you'll see it because they gave me the ad codes, but they told me that they wouldn't work until today. So I'll go ahead and give it to you guys who need them at the end of class. But can everyone see who is enrolled in the class? Can you guys all see the Canvas? And you can see the
Yes.
syllabus? Cool. All right. Awesome. So let's go ahead and take a look at the syllabus then. So here's the course information. We're going to be meeting online from 9:30 to 11:10 on Mondays and Wednesdays. Whoops, that's an error there. I'm going to fix that. This is from an old Mondays and Wednesdays from 9:30 to 11:10 a.m. and Tuesdays from 9:45 to 12:55. We're gonna basically we're gonna have one lab a week. You can already see the first lab we're gonna do. I'm gonna make little edits on that today. Now that I'm looking back at it, I'm gonna actually make this a little bit better for the lab this week. So you can start reading over. It'll still be the same ideas, but it will be a little bit different. It'll be like the order. It'll be more cleanly to organize. But go ahead and read over the material though. I recommend it. Okay. So you're expected to have college physics. I gave you like a library copy on a Canvas. You can check it. So that way you know the problems there are the ones I'm assigning. So make sure that you do the problems from that textbook that's on Canvas. It's this one here. You can also have old editions. You can for reading. The textbooks doesn't change very much. It's the problems that change. So as long as you're reading it, I think that college physics is like probably the best trig-based physics book that I've encountered. So I recommend reading it. It's good stuff. All right, and there's also the lab manual. You're not required to purchase it because we're adapting them for the online environment. Basically, I'll start making them, and you'll see that like a lot of the ones for this first lab has actually been drawn from that lab notebook, but you don't have to buy it. Okay. You're also expect to have some type of scientific graphing calculator, but you can also use an online graphing calculator like Desmos or Wolfram Alpha. You're expected to have computer access. Everyone who doesn't have access to a computer, say I. Anyway, yeah, little joke I have. It's like everyone who's not here, everyone who can't log in, raise your hand. Yeah, so. But yeah, if you do need access to a computer, I believe El Camino will provide you with a computer. You can also download Microsoft Office for free from El Camino, and you're expected to download that Microsoft Office or access the online version of it. Okay. Well, the main reason is because we're going to use Excel. Oh, go ahead, Jimmy.
Can we use TI-84 for the
Absolutely.
calculator? Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions? Okay. So, I recommend you read this book right here. Do I have it sitting here? I put it in a weird spot, but it's a very good text, very good little book about like, oh, what do you need to do and kind of preparing yourself for this. And also this one, the essential calculus-based physics one, there's one that's trig-based. Just ignore the calculus stuff. It's fine. It's the one, it's also posted as like a library resource that has worked out problems for you. I highly recommend you look over it. Because basically, if you need extra practice, they have like solved problems for you to just like see the step by step. Because I know that our textbook tends to skip steps here and there. And I'll happily, fill in any gaps that you want to fill in from the textbook in office hours. But yeah, this one definitely has like full steps here. So I recommend reading this over, particularly if you need to review your trigonometry. Because I'm assuming that you have trig already. I'll review some of the stuff, but the base assumption is that it's going to be quickly reviewed and that you already know it. I can happily help you as much as I can, but it's expected that you do at least have a passing familiarity with trig. Okay, this is 4 units. And there we go, went over the class time. You can, if you just use the link, the way you log in normally is through like Tech Connect Zoom, and it'll also past recordings will be posted there. I did not update my office hours. Sorry about that. My office hours actually are going to be, hold on one sec. It's, I understand why everyone logged in so early. It's 9:45. Thank you, Delana. Yes, it's 9:45. That makes a lot of sense now. Thank you for asking that. My office hours, this is a previous office hours here. Let me fix this office hours here. This is what I had during the summer. My current office hours are going to be from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. and on Monday, and Tuesday 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Thank you for checking in on that, Delana. Any other questions? Okay, cool. So, how do you get to the office hours? Well, either you can use this meeting ID and password here, or you use this. I have like my home Zoom because as an adjunct instructor, I actually teach at 2 other places, LACC and SMC. So I'm always logged in to my LACC email. So, Zoom account. So, and usually there'll be like other people coming to the office hours too. So, for my other classes. So if you want to make like a private appointment, you can also send me a message on Canvas or on Pronto, or I think we also have now the Discord up and running that you guys can communicate with each other. I think a couple of people already, went to that Discord already. But I'll go over the ways you can get in touch with me as well. All right. So, the classroom environment. This is the thing I just added when I was like, yeah. So, learning is a collaborative exercise. And this classroom is your space too. Everyone belongs here no matter what your background, whether you've just never have taken a physics course before or if you've taken several in high school or other places before. I highly encourage you to be wrong here, in quotes. It's how we learn. Because like every time that I've learned something new is because I made a mistake and someone helped me. And that's what I'm here for. I would like you guys to be wrong here publicly. And I know that seems like absolutely terrifying for a lot of you because like that kind of goes counter what a lot of you are supposed to have the answer and know it already. But that's not what I want to have here. And that's not the environment I want to have here, that you have to expect to know everything already. Because, well, what am I here for then? If you can just read the textbook, take the test, and that's it. So I want you to destigmatize being wrong, because that's how you guys learn and you have discussions. That'll be part of the participation grade. So, sometimes active participation can be uncomfortable, particularly if you're unsure. But one of the themes of the course as I teach it is that science, and really all knowledge, is a process more than a set of facts. Because, well, facts just, they can change. But the process, hopefully, is what's solidified here. And I hope that more than anything else, more than the facts, even if you do like never take another physics course again after this, is that I carry the process of thinking scientifically from here. That's what I hope that you carry with you. Less than I said, like, what torque is, which is one of the things you'll learn. Like, sure, it'd be nice if you remember what that was, but like, I really want you to remember how you learned here and how you approach problems. That's really what I'm getting for. And that's will be biggest part of the grade is the process, particularly on tests. That I will reward you for making the steps, and getting the right answer is just the final points on the end. Sure, it's going to be better to get the right answer, but showing you the steps in the process is really what I value here. And like learning a musical instrument, we all need to practice to become better scientists. So, and just like in a music class, I won't take any stigmatization of getting things wrong and things like that. And hopefully you guys can carry that into your own little study groups that you're going to be forming. All right, any questions? So let me go ahead and start something real quick to get you guys a little participation while you're here. Have you guys ever done a Zoom waterfall before? Or know what that is?
Yeah, no.
Okay, so let me go ahead and introduce you guys. So Zoom waterfall is where I give you guys like a minute to type in something, and then we all hit enter at the same time. Okay, so here's the prompt. What is your physics background? And what do you hope to get out of the class? I'm going to give you guys, I'll give you guys a minute, starting now. Go ahead and type that in, and I'll tell you guys when to hit enter. Like, what's your physics background and what you're hoping to get out of the class? Oh, just hold off until I say hit enter. Then we can all see it come at once. It's kind of cool. Hence the waterfall, all cascades on out. Okay, 15 seconds. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, enter. So a couple people do have physics background, but it seems like most of you don't. Yeah. Some people have more experience than others. I did see yours, yes. So yeah. So we have like just a wide variety of experiences here. And everyone is going to, hopefully, whether you've never had any physics before or whether you've taken several courses before, hopefully you can still learn in this class. That's my goal, at least. So I don't want you guys to definitely not compare to each other, because like everyone starts at a different place, has a different background, and we're all going to be learning here, hopefully. And if like things are struggling, please reach out to me. Like my messages are always open. I'm going to try and get you, talk about communication in a second, but I'll just say it right now. Basically, my goal is that as long as you communicate to me I guarantee you that if you send me a message, either email, Pronto message, or Canvas message, or Discord message where you at me, make sure that when you're doing Pronto messages or on Discord that you make sure that you at me so that I know that you're talking to me and not just having a general discussion. But as long as you do those, and I encourage you, if you have like questions about the course and questions about the homework, to use those two ones, Discord and Pronto, because that way other people can ask it too. I encourage for Canvas messages and email to do more private ones, the ones that you are not really about like the course or questions about the homework in general. If it's about you specifically in the course. So, but yeah, on those 4 things, if you send me a message, on weekdays I will have like a 24-hour turnaround, and on the weekends it'll be at the latest by Monday. Okay. All right. So this course, along with 2B, is part of a 1-year algebra and trig-based survey physics. The topics will include kinematics, statics, dynamics, momentum, energy and rotation, gravitation, planetary motion, fluids, the kinetic theory of gases, and thermodynamics. Basically, it's going to be the first half of the textbook of this one here. So it's going to be up through chapter 14. Although we'll do it in a little different order. We do the thermo stuff last here. All right. So we have a Canvas shell. Assignments, quizzes, and exams will be posted there. You can also use the form to ask questions with Pronto, and there will other be places to, discussions as well that will be posted there as well. Like when you introduce yourselves with video. Like I'll put myself out there, and hopefully you guys can all do that yourself. I realize that no one really wants to have their, cameras on right now, and I understand. That's why I hope that like people like Dejuan and Nikki and Brian and Amisha, hopefully I'm getting those all right, have like, pictures of themselves, or even Aldeby has like a cartoon that's also acceptable too, or Griffin. I would prefer you to have some type of face. It makes it feel like there's someone there. But yeah, just something where it can feel like that. But you don't have to have your camera on during class time, of course. But just during the welcome video, you can go to some place where you can define it, like a little one minute little welcome video, like introducing yourself. I'll go ahead and create that assignment. Oh, thank you, Raina. Awesome. Yes, you do, Edwin. Yes. I can actually, if you want to, I can walk you through that in office hours today. That's Kirby, actually. That's not. Wow. So I do get these. I mean. All right. Yeah. So. Both, but I really like to get points for that assignment. It's on Zoom, so I'm not looking at a whole bunch of like, just names. I can look, and you guys will see like other faces there. I know it's not perfect. It's not like an actual classroom, but it's just going to make it feel like there's other people there and you're not all alone. Because one thing about this pandemic is that it's just isolating, right? So I'm trying to like create an environment where you guys feel like there's other people there. It's not just, you're not on your own here. Because we're like I said, this is your space too. And I want like you guys to feel like you're welcome here and you're part of here. Hopefully. It's not going to be perfect, but we're going to try and do our best. Any other questions? All right, so we're going to have 5 exams that are going to be 11% each. They're actually kind of small, so we're going to go like lots of little exams rather than like 4 big ones or 3 big ones. So you're going to actually have lots of opportunities to, see where you stand. Participation, like what you're doing now, chatting with me, or also the putting a photo onto Zoom. Also, Canvas would be nice too, and things like that, or your your introduction video, among other things. That's going to be participation to the course. Okay, quizzes. Except for today, we're going to have, like, before lecture, you're expected to have like a quiz where you read ahead from the material. So you're going to come in, hopefully, already reading the material for the course. And if you want to, like, see a idea of, like, what you should be reading, there's, like, at the end of the syllabus, there is what my planned coverage is going to be for each day. If things adjust, I'll, of course, keep you guys in the loop. The introduction video will be on Canvas. I have not created that assignment yet, but you'll see it soon. I'll make it a little announcement and reminder. And I'll make mine first, of course. It's going to be like just 1 minute, just introducing about yourself. And, like, something either interesting or uninteresting about yourself. Because you guys want to know a little bit about me, so. Oops. So lab reports are going to be 15%. Basically, that's going to be 1% for each lab, because we have 15, like, no, they're not. The pre-lecture quizzes are not timed, and you can take them as many times as you like. They're not meant to punish you. They're meant to encourage you to think about the course and what's going to happen the next day. That's why they're before the lecture. You're supposed to do the reading, answer the questions, and then try and figure them out. So then also they can give you little prompts for a discussion when you're coming in. Like, hey, I had a question about this on the quiz. And that can help me figure out what I can do to help you guys. Helps the little self-assessment. Good questions. Any other questions about quizzes? I think the first 3 quizzes are already posted, so you can get ahead if you like. I'll try and create the quizzes for the rest of the course too. So lab reports, there's going to be 15 labs, like basically 1 a week, except for the finals week. Maybe I might do 1 other finals week, but yeah, basically 1 a week. And so each one's going to be worth 1%. There is homework and in-class work. Again, since there's 16 weeks, that's about 1% for each assignment. So make sure that you do them. No, they're not. They're not going to be on Labster. I thought about doing it on Labster, but I think it's not free for you guys. You have to buy it. So I'm trying to, keep costs low as possible. So it's going to be a combination of, like, things you do at home, simulations, and and lecture and videos. Because my idea is that you spend minimally on the labs. Is Labster actually included at El Camino still? I think there was a time where it was. It's still, or it's no? You have to buy it now. It's included. Okay. Well, then I'll look into that. There might be some good simulations there. I might do that then. Because, like, there's some good simulations out there, but Labster probably got some good stuff too. I'll look into it. All right. Any other questions? Oh, yeah. So the grading scale is going to be 90 to 100 would be an A. This is tentative. I could change it too. But basically, if you get in this range, you're going to get an A. If you're higher than this, so I might give you some wiggle room if you've, like, made improvements over the course. I have some wiggle room on my end, but I'm not going to curve down. That's what my guarantee is that I won't punish you if you get into these buckets. You're going to be at least guaranteed to get these grades. I might wiggle them down, but I'm actually trying to design where there's not going to be a curve. Don't expect a curve. If things go horribly wrong, I might adjust it. But I'm anticipating that we won't have to. That if you get to these, in these buckets, in these percentages, you're going to get these grades. And hopefully, I mean, I don't have to assign any of these. But, you know, things happen. Please come to me sooner than later so we can make course corrections for you guys. All right, so exams. Put 4 to 6. So, exams will consist of short answer problems, and every student will have a unique exam. 4 to 6 questions from a test bank with randomly generated numbers. I'll provide all physical constants that you will need, and you'll make a handwritten formula sheet on a single 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. Basically, a printer paper. This. Every student will upload a handwritten PDF detailing their work for each problem of the exam to evaluate for partial credit. Cheating will not be tolerated and will result in immediate 0 on the exam. So this handwritten formula sheet is really for you because while the exams are going to be timed, I'm not going to be proctoring them. I will be unproctored. That's part of the thing, is that I'm going to trust you guys. But with that said, exams are like essays. They're very unique. So it is pretty easy to tell if you are not being honest with me. I haven't had to do anything yet, but yes. And also, this is another reason why I have it handwritten. If you have to have some type of accommodation for that, let me know. But yes, you're going to have like a handwritten work written out for your exams. So, as well as your homework. So that way, that's another thing too. All right. I do not want to become like trying to catch everyone for cheating, because that's not what I want to do. But just to let you know that it's pretty easy to tell on my end if you're being honest or not. Because it's like writing essays. So just be aware that I am trusting you guys. But I would really rather not to trying to get in an ugly situation. So, all right. So the exam schedule will be scheduled on the weekends. Be taken between. I'd recommend that. So that's a good question about that, Lee. So I recommend that you write legibly and clearly. So you could do one problem per page. That's probably a good idea, because a lot of the times you'll be doing drawings and diagrams. Probably that's a good rule of thumb to have like 1 page per problem. But yeah. So don't try and save space. This is all make it easy for me to read is basically the rule. If it's easy for me to read, I'll be happier and be able to give you more points. So let me give you points, because I want to give you points, but you got to show me the work. 1, show me the work, and 1, make it easy for me to read. And Michelle has a very good point that yes, absolutely. If you have a tablet or iPad, you can absolutely write your homework and exams on it. In fact, I encourage it, because usually you get neater and things like that. So yes. Either you can make a scan of it. If you have never done scan a document, I recommend Adobe Scan on your iPhone, personally. But there's also like Turbo Scan and so many other places that do it. I like Adobe Scan because it automatically recognizes the edges. So even if you don't get an edge on, it'll like, do corrections for that. But yes, if you have a tablet like I do, I highly recommend that you use it for test taking. Yes, absolutely. Other questions? Okay, so exams will be scheduled on weekends, taken between Thursday and Sunday. If you must miss an exam for a compelling reason, such as a documented illness or other emergency, the grade of that exam will be 80% of the average grade of the other exams. And if things are going wrong, I might be able to change the schedule a little bit, so just communicate with me, please. If there's something going horribly wrong, just let me know. Keep me in the know, please. So, before an exam, review all relevant homework problems and lecture examples. Make sure you can solve them all cold, closed book, and with only your formula sheet. About your formula sheet, what I recommend how you make it is that you look at the end of chapter problems and all the box problems or problems that equations that I say are important. Because making the formula sheet is a great way to study about what's important, what's not. Because I have to I'm basically forcing you to say okay, on this exam, what's important to know and what is, less important. It helps you organize everything. So that's why a formula sheet is actually a clever way for me to get you guys to study. Believe me, it helps. I can tell, from when I started actually requiring only formula sheets, I've actually noticed people study better. Okay, So if you're unable to do any problems, close book, review your notes, put them aside, and start from scratch. Repeat this process until you can do all the problems without notes. I also recommend if you want to make your own little practice exams, I'll have practice exams posted so you get a sense. But also if you want to make your own, I recommend that you use the blue level problems. So there's 3 level problems. Black, which is easy, blue, which is medium, and red, this is hard. So basically select a selection of blue problems. It's optional, Emilio. It's really for you. But it's supposed to be closed book except for that formula sheet. But if you are scratching wait, where in the textbook, where is it? Where is it? Or if you're trying to frantically search for things, you're not going to do as well. No study guide, but I will give you a practice exam.
That practice exam optional?
Yes. It'll also have the solutions there too. Yes. It was done I made some practice exams over the summer by popular request. So they're optional, yes.
Yeah, I had a course where we had practice exams, but they were required, and so it ended up being taking 2 exams.
That's not what I wanted to do. No. We got 5. That's plenty.
Right.
Yeah. Any other questions?
I had a question. Did you mention if the exams are timed?
I did, yes. They are timed.
Okay, so how long would we have for the exams again?
Typically, they're going to be 3 hours. I might adjust the time here and there. If you have accommodations, then of course your accommodations will apply onto that time.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that should be enough time where you don't have to scramble, but it's still enough time where you have to still do it within one sitting. If things go wrong, please let me know, and I'll try and fix the problem. But make sure that you do not start an exam at 9 o'clock before the deadline, and you have 3 hours, but then at midnight it closes. So start early. So if things go wrong, I can help fix them. Just things like that. I know that basically I give you guys Thursday to Sunday. Usually means most people are taking it Sunday, but don't start it at 8 or 9 p.m. on Sunday. So just because if things go wrong, it's going to be hard for me to fix it if it's at the end. But if it's earlier, I can help fix things. Any other questions about exams? Okay. So labs. You will be assigned reading material ahead of time for which you'll study before the coming lab. There's a couple of tweaks I want to do. You'll get the final version. I'll announce when I say like this is the final version of the lab. Hopefully I'll finish it by 5 or 6 p.m. tonight for the lab tomorrow. It's fairly simple. It's basically, if you read over the lab right it is right now, you'll get a sense. It'll just be cleaned up is all, and clearer what I want. But yeah, you should read ahead on the labs. And I'll try and get the rest of the labs all ready for you guys, because I already have like a set of labs I want to do. I'll take a look at Labster and see if there's anything interesting there. But probably I got a set of labs I'll probably use for you guys. And it'll be a combination of labs at home, like with your smartphone and things like that. Videos you'll watch, and virtual labs. And lab reports will be due 1 week following the lab session unless otherwise noted. No late lab reports will be accepted. During lab days, I'll be breaking you up into groups in the Zoom breakout rooms. I highly encourage you to have your camera on during your group work. If you don't attend the lab, you'll have to complete the lab on your own time, and you'll receive a 0 for any missed lab. I will drop your lowest lab score. All right. Any questions about labs?
Do we have a lab tomorrow?
Yes, we do. You can start reading. I have it posted already on Canvas. It'll basically be that lab. I'm going to make some tweaks to it. So I won't make any tweaks to the material. I'll just make it easier to follow if you read the lab that's posted right now. All right. So the homework from it in this class can be rather challenging. Let me get this. Getting rid of a lot of this. So this is like when I was trying to make ways for you guys to check your work. I'll try and I'm going to start trying some things where I'm going to make rubrics. I'll be able to check the answers. So I'm going to try and, I have not given out the ad codes yet. No, I'm going to do that at the end of the class. So I'm going to actually not do 2 assignments. They'll just say homework 1. Homework 1's already been posted, I believe. Let me just double check that it has. Yes, homework 1 hard copy. It's already been posted. So you already get started right now. And similar exams, you'll submit a written scanned hard copy for full credit, or the answers written by hand on a digital tablet. No late work will be accepted. So, I'm not going to grade for accuracy. If you have questions, I'll of course come to office hours and I'll give you feedback. But I unfortunately I've looked into basically having online homework where you get the answers. It's a bit out of your pocket, unfortunately. There's no free version of it where it's programmed for you. So, yeah. It ranges from the lowest being $50 for each of you to $70 to $90. For this textbook, I believe it's $90 to have it. So, yeah. Unfortunately, you can still get whether the answers are right or not from me. I'll let you know. Come to my office hours and I'll give you feedback. Okay. So anticipate that you'll need assistance with at least 2 or 3 problems per assignment. To ensure that you have enough time to seek assistance, begin working on the problem sets as soon as possible. And don't wait until the last minute. That's basically where particularly when I taught this same course, Physics 2A, in the summer, is that people were just getting behind on their homework and they just were missing assignments, and a couple of people had to drop a letter grade because they didn't complete it. It's supposed to be a cushion. Don't make it a thing that hurts you. Yeah, and you realize that homework is a lot, and it kind of sucks that you have but since it's a skill you have to practice, like a musical instrument, that's why I require homework, and I try and select problems that at least are either interesting or at least illustrate important concepts. I might have a couple of extra credit problems here and there too. Oh, and also there's online tutoring help. So use that resource and help each other. Like, you can work together. You have to turn your own homework, of course, in individually in your own hand, but you can work together. All right. Any questions about homework? Okay. Quizzes. Quizzes will be assigned to Canvas. Each quiz will have 5 to 7 questions and will cover the material that will be lectured on during the day. Each will be due 9 a.m. before class. And there's a first quiz already there for you guys to do. All right, and that's pretty straightforward. Oh, yes, go ahead, Jimmy.
Professor, I noticed that the pre-lecture quiz, what's that about? It's just about syllabus or?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, the quizzes, the pre-lecture quizzes.
Mm-hmm.
So they're basically a way to introduce you to the concepts before I talk about them during the day.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you're supposed to read ahead in the textbook, and then I'll lecture on them.
Okay, thanks, Professor.
Mm-hmm. Other questions about the quizzes? They shouldn't take too long. You can take it as many times as you like. You can make unlimited attempts to each pre-lecture quiz. I'll re-upload this syllabus. I'm making little corrections here and there. Because I wrote this during the summer, and then I basically had a whole bunch of things for like, oh, it would be better to run the class a little bit better this way. So, okay, online participation. I'll be monitoring student interactions via several different ways. You can use the discussions board on Canvas, Pronto chat option added onto Canvas, and Discord. You should use it to post homework questions and answer your peers' questions. I'll award points for participation. You can also use it. Where can we find the textbook? Well, either there's the textbook store. I have like an online version of the textbook as a way for you guys to like use a library thing. Basically, you can check your problems there. And of course, there are other places that I will not, say that about, like that you can find the textbook online, so in other places besides Amazon. So, if you get my drift, places that I would never tell you to go to, because as a teacher, I always respect copyright. So, things like I would never tell you to go to a place like, what was it called again? Just want to make sure that you'd never go to this place, because this would be, a violation of copyright. This, like a place like this one. Yeah, I would really, really want you guys to not make that kind of mistake of typing that accidentally. So, if you catch my meaning. So, what? Huh? I'm not. I didn't see that at all. Anyway. All right. Anyway, so. That's for your own benefit. Make sure that you guys don't make that mistake. Anyway, so back onto the syllabus. This class moves very fast. Regular attendance and asynchronous participation is expected of every student. Any student that's not regularly participating before the add deadline might be dropped, because I don't want to give Fs to people. I'd rather have you take it again and not get a W before then. So if things are going wrong, I'll reach out to you And we can maybe have a discussion about whether we could keep you in the class or not. If not, I might have to drop you. So just be aware of the fact that I do have to submit like a drop roster if you're not coming and participating. Okay? So, speaking about that, deadlines. Monday, September 12th is the last day of withdrawal with no grade showing on your permanent record. And Thursday, November 19th is the last day to withdraw with a grade of the W. I think that's also when you can submit for pass, no pass too. I believe. I have to double check that though. So, the date of the final is September 17th, and the final exam will not be comprehensive. So, all our exams will be separate from each other. I mean, they're still going to build on each other, so expect you to still know the concepts from before, but it'll just be on the concepts that we learned in each unit. Okay? And again, I encourage you guys to work together on homework and lab experiments through Pronto or Discord. But copying of others' work is not acceptable. So, how to succeed in this course? Attend every lecture or watch the recording later. Read the material before it's covered in class. That's what the pre-lecture quizzes are for. Don't get behind. Complete homework and lab reports on time. And ask questions in class to clarify points you don't understand. Again, this is your space too, and I want you guys to feel like you can ask any questions you have. And time management, workspace hygiene, and sleep hygiene are crucial to your success in a pandemic. So, like, I had to basically kind of rethink everything to make sure that I do not have, like, this is kind of like our workspace here, and not to have too much going on. And kind of clearly dividing different spaces in your house can really help, at least for me, keep like, oh, this is my work area, and this is my sleep area, this is the fun area. And so they don't bleed together. You do need those, you do need the fun area in your house or apartment or whatever living space you have, but you don't want to make sure they bleed into each other. And stay connected to other people in the class as possible. If things are going wrong, please reach out for one reason or another. I'm always here. And I believe there's also counseling, both academic and personal counseling. I highly recommend both, particularly in a pandemic. Like, I was having some students who were just at the breaking point. This is hard. This has been tough on all of us. We thought things were going to get better, and then we're Delta variant, everyone's back. We're all at our breaking point right now. Yeah. So, yeah, I fully understand that. And I'm going to be mindful of that you guys are human, and we're going to try and get through this together. But if you don't loop me in and don't connect to everyone else in the course, I can't help you. Yeah. I understand. This has been tough. It's been a tough 2 years. Yeah. Almost 2 years now. No, it's a year and a half so far, but it's been tough. And it doesn't seem like there's any sign of that ending. So, yeah. I understand. It's been... So please reach out to me if things are going wrong and I'm going off the rails. Because I would like to be able to help you. But if it's like at the last week of the course and things have gone horribly wrong, it's hard for me to course correct. If you bring this to me like in week 3 or week 2, we can work something out. We can talk about it. In week 15, 16, or 17, it's really hard for me to fix things. So come to me sooner rather than later if things are going wrong. And we're all super stressed. So don't feel like you're the only one that's just not getting it or just being ground down. We're all being ground down right now. And my purpose is not to grind you down, but try and lift you guys up. But there's still expectations. We still got to do a course. So there's going to be a balance. I'm going to try and strike, and hopefully you guys can be part of that. All right. Any questions on that? Yeah. So let me go ahead and let's insert a break here. So let's talk about our calendar. So we're going to meet 3 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Tuesday will be our long days. And I'm going to fill in what the other labs are going to be later. I'm making some decisions on that. Oh, I guess I have 16. I might do 15 or 16. I'm deciding that still. So I actually have the first 4 labs decided. A couple finishing touches, I'm going to do that. Now, what I could do, if you guys would like that, since the drop deadline is Friday, I could do 6 tests rather than 5 tests. No, I'm not going to do that. Yeah, but you can get assessments please let me know how you're feeling before this drop deadline here. Let's just keep it at 5. 5 is fine. So, we're going to have an exam on the third weekend that covers chapters 1, 2, and 3. So chapter 1 will be covered today and tomorrow, and then we'll start chapter 2. There's going to be no class on Labor Day next week, so a little short week. And we'll start on chapter 2 in the kinematics lab. So this is kind of our schedule. We're going to basically be doing about a chapter a week. And since there are 14 chapters in 16 weeks, we're basically going to have sometimes we go a little slower than that. But yeah, we're basically going to do a chapter a week. So kind of plan on that. All right. And we have an exam every 3 to 4 weeks. So we have an exam week 3, an exam week 7, an exam week 10, an exam week 13, and a final. So this one is going to be basically kinematics and units. This one will be Newton's laws and energy and momentum. This one will be rotations. And then we're going to have fluids and waves, and then thermo. All right. Questions?
Professor,
Mm-hmm.
what do you suggest to do to follow the speed, follow the process? We should read ahead, or
Yes, please do. So you should probably finish up
Okay.
chapter 1 by tomorrow. And then start reading chapter 2 Tuesday through Wednesday. I'm not expecting you to finish chapter 2 by Wednesday, but at least have a good chunk of it done. So probably have probably over the weekend, I'd recommend over the long weekend, read chapter 2 all the way through, and that way you can be on the ball for that. So basically read at least, the thing is you have to read a chapter a week. So yeah, unfortunately there's the first chapter does go a little faster because it's pretty, but then we have to go ahead and stay a chapter a week.
Okay, thanks, Professor.
Yes, Rena.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. I know you mentioned earlier how several people have already joined the Discord. Are you talking about the ECC Physics and Astro server, or should we start a new server for this class?
Oh, there's always a server for this class.
Oh, there is?
Yeah.
Where's the
I think I
link?
sent it out during the if you
Oh,
weren't
in the
enrolled
email?
in the summer. Yeah. Let's see.
Okay, sorry about that.
Let me go ahead and put it in the chat for everybody. Close. How can I add people? Invite members. Let's see, make sure I'm the right one. Yes, we are. Let's invite members. Share. Copy. I think this is it. I think this will do it.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. But I'm sure the ECC Discord could also be a very useful resource for people who've taken this course before. So, don't hesitate to reach out to a whole variety of different resources. Because like, that's one thing about like, since the campus is shut down, we kind of have to be in online spaces. There are other places that I'm going to try and create some online spaces too. I don't know if you guys have tried gather.town. That's been probably promising that I've done with other people at other places. It's basically like, you know, your 8-bit era little sprites where you can kind of walk around a little virtual classroom. I'm thinking about trying to incorporate that too. But yeah, I'm going to try new things. And let me know if there's a way that you've felt, you know, this online space worked well. Let me know. Any ideas? I'm welcome to try it at least. So any other questions about the schedule or Discord? Also, I'll show you what the canvas looks like too after this. Rules for homework though. So the general appearance of homework. Homework should be neat, legible, and reasonably dark. If the image contrast is not high enough, you should re-upload the assignment. And I've had some students where like, ooh, it's hard to read. So also, let me go ahead and add another thing. You should put the problems written exactly the order they're assigned. The problem 1 should be solved first, then problem 2. And also highlight the problem number next to it. That way I can easily track your progress. You can either highlight it with like, you know, circles, the circle of problem number that you're doing. Or you can like, you know, put a little highlighter, or if you're digital, you can make a little, you know, digital highlighting, something to make it pop for me. Again, make it easy for me to grade things. Like a happier grader is going to be one that gives you more points. Well, I'll try my best to give everyone points I can, but make it easy for me to give you points, please. Because I want to give you points. This part doesn't apply anymore. All right, so for each assignment, please create only one PDF with your favorite scanning software or app. Or if you're creating a digital one on an iPad, then you go ahead and create one PDF. You may only write one equation or statement per line. After you've written one equation on a line, go to the next line and write the next equation. If you write small and find this wasteful, please don't write small. Write bigger. But if you may draw a line down the middle of your paper and make 2 columns, then beginning working on the right side of your paper after you completely used up the left side. So, here's what you do on a problem. When you're starting a problem, draw a diagram which presents all the information given in a statement of the problem. Any symbolic variables such as x, t, f must either appear in the diagram or be listed next to the diagram. If appropriate, use your diagram to define a coordinate system. If the information is given as a numerical value, such as 3 meters, 12 seconds, 8 newtons, or etc., or a symbol, x, t, and f, etc., must be assigned to the numerical value. For example, if a problem says that a box has a mass of 3 kilograms, you should write m equals 3 kilograms. If you have more than one, use subscripts, MA, MB, etc. By the way, my convention is that you have objects be letters and times be numbers. That's my convention, personally, and I highly recommend that you follow my convention. It's like, you know, to switch analogies, like you're a chef. Sure, there are more ways to prepare the recipe, but until you get more experienced, we're going to do it the way I tell you to do, and then you can start going off recipe and start, you know, improvising. This is not the class for improvising, unfortunately, until you show them that you can. So, do not simply write 3 kilograms. Assign a symbol and write m equals 3 kilograms, and use a single letter, or, you know, a letter, like a combination, like letters and a single letter for each numerical value, and then add subscripts if needed. So to begin computation, start with your solution by stating a well-known equation that you've either seen in lecture or in the text, like F equals ma, delta x equals v average delta t. You might see this as a dirt formula, distance equals rate times time before, but it's just the same thing again. That's appropriate to the problem at hand. The first equation should never have numerical values plugged into it. It should strictly be in variable form, because that's one of the ways we're trying to conceive in this course, is that it's the process that we're doing here. This is part of the process. is to kind of state what you know, and then what we're going to do, and then we're going to do it. And I want that to be clear on the paper. Sure, if you had experience in physics before, you'd be like, oh, why am I showing all this work? I know what to do. Well, show me that you know. Because things will not quite so simple. It'll be doable for everybody, but I want to see your I can't see inside your head. All I can do is see what's on your paper. So write all this out, please. So, when finishing a problem, if you have an equation in which the variable you're trying to solve for appears and all the other quantities are known, follow the following steps. A. Without plugging in numbers, isolate the variable. Exceptions. You may always plug in 0. And 2. When you've attained a quadratic equation, you may work out numerical values for the coefficients and then plug in the numerical values for the coefficients into the quadratic formula. There are other ways I can show you to do with a quadratic formula too, if you would prefer not to, but yeah. Once you have an equation in which the variable is isolated on one side, plug the numerical values, if given, into the quantities on the other side of the equation. When you plug the numerical value in the equation, you must include units with the numerical values. And then compute the numerical values of the quantity of interest. And 7, use the correct units. Every numerical answer must include the correct unit. So here's an example. Like, let's say you have the dirt formula. Distance equals rate times time, or delta x equals v delta t. If you have 4 and 2, which is like 4 meters per second in 2 seconds, don't plug them in like this and then add the units in afterward. Do in 4 meters per second times 2 seconds, the seconds cancel, and there you get it. This basically makes sure that you're doing the problems correctly. Because this is called dimensional analysis, by the way, to make sure that everything makes sense. We're going to go over this. I'm looking at the time. We're not going to finish chapter 1 today, but we'll start it a little bit. Any questions so far? So here's another example. Suppose we want to compute the acceleration of a 5 kilogram object subject to a single 10 Newton force. Well, Newton actually is a combination unit. It actually is a kilograms times meters per second squared. So therefore, the kilograms cancel when you plug them in, because it's going to be A equals F over M. The kilograms will cancel, and then you'll get 2 meters per second squared. And that's that. That's everything on the syllabus. Any questions? I'm going to re-upload this because I made some changes. Any questions? All right. Cool. Let me go over this. I need to go over Canvas. Let me go ahead and show you what it looks like if you haven't logged into Canvas. So let me go ahead and show you the student view. And share. So you can kind of see the to-do list here of the lectures here when they pop up. And you also see the pre-lecture quizzes. You can also click it. And this is also another way to link to the Monday, Wednesday classes and the Tuesday classes. Or you can go to the Tech Connect Zoom, and they're here. Okay. These are previous slides I've created before. I'm actually gonna re-update them with new lecture slides I'm gonna create. So yeah, don't worry about this. This is basically give you a sense of what the course is gonna be like. Here's some of my favorite science communicators, and here is the Zoom picture extra credit. Goes to 5 points to your exam score. So sooner you do it, I can start giving people credit when you start having some type of picture for yourself that shows a face. So I should make it clear that it's a face of some kind. And here's the pre-lecture quiz for that. And here's the lab for tomorrow. And this will be the lecture quiz for Wednesday and the homework 1 hard copy. All right. And here's like the practice exam for test 1 already in there. Actually, I have 2 practice exams for this one. Any questions?
You said there's a reading before every lab to kind of explain the lab. Does the lab 1 have that?
It kind of does. These links here. I'm going to clean it up a little bit. I know it's kind of messy right now. I know I'm going to try and clean it up a little bit. I'll have it let you know when it's all. You should start reading this right now, like this right here and this. Well, this one right here. I can like, of course, like I'm going to clean this up a little bit though. Make it easier to read. Just like, well, things kind of caught up with me. I was expecting to have more time to finish it up and have it all pristine and neat and orderly for you. Didn't quite get there, but I'll have it done by today. Other questions? All right then. That's basically everything. Oh, another thing you can also look at is on your calendar. You can also see basically assignments that are due, and let's see. Yeah, you can do like the next week here. So you can see the assignments that are due, when the homework's due, and things like that. See, the homework is due on the Monday before 1 week after today. So we'll have all that. So you'll be able to see like what you can do here. I'll also, if you like, try and have like, you know, other things here as well. All right. Whoops. Stop. Any other questions?